Right, welcome back guys to another Elder Scrolls video. Today we're in Icereach, which is a favourite of mine. I've always enjoyed doing this dungeon. Never actually took the time to do the quest, but that's what these videos are for, so I hope you enjoy it.
Show us bones. Did the Skull King send you? He must know what's going on here. He must!
Slow down, what happened here?
The Sea of Ghosts doesn't suffer fools. Never has. But now some dark magic's driven it mad. Great gales whip around this island, breaking masts like kindling wood and drowning sailors by the dozens. High King Yoren sent us to investigate.
What did you find?
Witches. The Icereach coven. We drove them into the sea years ago, back to this accursed isle. But now they've returned with a horde of reachmen in tow. They came down on us like an avalanche. If you mean to face them, please try to find my mates.
Alright, I'll destroy the coven and try to find your compatriots.
Keep a steady shield arm in there, friend. And listen for the cackling. Those witches are like cats in a house full of mice. All we could do was scramble about, avoiding the claws.
What happened here exactly?
Orky spat on this expedition from the very beginning. One of our longships sprung a leak just after we left port. The gale shattered a second one on the rocks before we made landfall. Those poor drowned bastards were the lucky ones.
How so?
The rest of us, the survivors, charged headlong into a tangle of swords and blood on witchcraft like I've never seen. Walking corpses, howling witchmen, a horking giant. If I'd known what I was getting into, I would have stayed in Windhelm.
Do you really think anyone survived?
Aye. One of the Skald King's strongest sword thanes sailed along with us. I wager she's made Sovngarde wait more than once.
Tell me more about this coven of witches. You mentioned pushing them into the sea.
Aye. About 5 years back. A rich king called Leovic sat on the ruby throne for a time down in Cyrodiil. And the Icereach witches served him as fortune-tellers or advisors or some such.
What pushed them out of power?
Varin Aquilarios, a Colovian peacock who proclaimed himself emperor. Didn't last long. Never does. Anyway, when he cut down Leovic and cast the Reachmen out of Cyrodiil, the witches went with him. Wound up back here in Skyrim.
So the Nords drove them out of Skyrim too?
Aye. Back here to Icereach, their old haunt. Wish we could sink this god's forsaken place into the sea. But for now, I'll settle for getting off the island alive.
Can you tell me more about the island?
It's cursed. Witches, Jarls, Reachmen, and worse have fought over this miserable rock for centuries. Gods know why. We Nords built a fort on it a long time back. To keep an eye on Orcish corsairs harassing whalers, I think.
What happened?
The witches pushed the Nords out. Most folk believe they took it by force. But my pa told me they bought it. Not with gold, mind you. With a cursed bargain or such. I believe it. As far as I'm concerned, they can keep this place.
Marvelous! Smash them for mother, won't you?
First boss?
My pet! My sweet boy! Pay soon enough!
The bear woman! She's here! She's...
Orky, take you, witch scum. You there! Kind's breath. It's good to see a friendly face.
I heard her. She's this way.
We can't talk here. Keep moving. I'll find you. Go!
I knew this ritual would bring trouble. Your new patron asks too much of us. Enough of your mewing. These slow-witted Nords pose little threat. Look here, Morgan. Stay out of my way, Heaty. I do as I please. Listen to me. Now, get up. Burn you to cinders for this.
She's... Skelka?
Shore's bones. There's no end to these hag-born bastards. I'm glad to see you in one piece. Our initial assault, it didn't go well. I saved who I could, but these witches are dug in like horrivores. Huh. We found an altar. Maybe the witches left some reagents or scrolls or something. Ugh. Filthy. Wait, here we are. A medallion of some kind. Huh. Might prove useful eventually. You go on ahead. I'll catch up. You know, where I come from, we call this sort of thing clever magic. Gods know why. Maybe we call it that so we feel smarter when we kick a wizard's teeth in.
I'm not going to ask that because we know who she is. What does the medallion do?
You're asking the wrong Nord. I've hunted enough mages to recognize the trinkets that are worth something. But as for what they do, not exactly my area of expertise.
Have you found anything else that might help?
So far, not much. I found a few rancid potions, old knuckle bones, crow feathers. Gods know what any of those things do. Remember, I'm a warrior. In my younger days, I left this sort of nonsense to that lecherous fossil Abner Tharn.
The Hagriver mentioned some kind of ritual.
That's a word I've heard more than once since we came ashore. After spending time with Metamarco, I actually have some experience with dark rituals. These things often involve a focus or a casting circle. If we find that, we can disrupt the spell.
Disrupt it how?
Plenty of axe swings and a few kicks in the stomach, I wager. These witches will protect the ritual with their lives. We'll make sure they pay in full.
Have you found any other survivors?
No. I had a handful of Thanes at my back, but most suffered terrible wounds during that first assault. I carried them as far as I could, but I'm no healer. One of them, Gulfrin, made me promise to kill 5 Reachmen for every Nord that fell.
How's that coming along?
Not as well as I'd like. Then again, I'd like to cast every single one of these hag-born maniacs into the sea. Losing comrades in arms, it's a terrible feeling. I just take solace in the fact that we'll all drink together in Sovngarde.
Disgusting intruders. I won't have it. I will not have it. Summoning is all I can do?
Why not come down and show us, hag?
Brought a beast of your own, Abe. She will die soon enough. You all will.
Cowardly witch. We've got them on the back foot. Let's keep the pressure on. Come on! Stay down, witch scum! Come on. We're getting close to the ritual. I know it.
So simple, is it? Arise and fight on, champion.
Haste our steel!
So proud. So proud. You have no idea what kind of forces you are meddling with.
Think you can lock me out? I'll knock that pretty head clean off your shoulders.
Promises, promises. When our ally spreads his wings over the world, you lose so much more than your hands.
Damn these crones. Come on, the ritual site can't be much farther. Sorry you had to face that creature alone. That witch Mayfin's been locking doors, conjuring illusions, and turning rooms upside down since we arrived. Luckily, I've got a strong stomach and a lot of patience. Well, maybe not a lot of patience.
We've seen a lot of undead. Are all these witches necromancers?
I don't think so. Those last two practiced necromancy, sure. But the others seem to focus on elemental magic. Ice, wind, and flame. Maybe they're both connected to the ritual somehow?
Connected how?
Well, I'm no mage, but if they manage to make this Gale conjure up undead as well, weaving nature magic together with the dark arts, I'd rather not think about it.
How many witches are there on this island?
Losing count, eh? Me too. I managed to kill one of them during the initial assault. You killed another, the Hagraven Skelga. I wager the more we kill, the less stable their ritual will become.
They seem difficult to pin down.
Yeah, so we fight them where they can't retreat, at the ritual site. I won't lie. Facing a coven at the center of their lair doesn't fill my heart with joy. But I made a promise to sort this out. Titanborns honor their word, no matter what.
Who is this ally the witch keeps talking about?
Sounds like a real charmer, whoever he is. Provided he's not some kind of hag-tailed boogeyman, I'm sure we'll meet him eventually. Axe first.
Head into the courtyard. Bring them down.
Damn it. Reinforcements. I'll hold off the Reachmen as long as I can. You kill those witches!
Castaways. Pity you had to come all this way only to die at our hands. Come, sisters, let us put an end to their insanity. Scatter them!
All dead! Damn! I scattered their wicker-clad lackeys, but I really wanted to crack at those hags. Oh well. I heard them prattling on about some ally. A shadow partner of some kind? Look here. You inscribed part of the ritual on this scroll, but just a part. Huh. This might just be the beginning of something. A magical plot with a mysterious and powerful ally. Huh. Looks like this axe has a few more necks to cleave.
So what comes next?
Well, I'm gonna make my way back to Windhelm. If these hags and their sisters on the mainland really intend to make a play for Skyrim, the Skull King needs to know. As for you, I'd say get in out of the cold. And take this. You earned it. I wish I could say I was excited to go home, but I'm gonna face a lot of widows and widowers when I go ashore. Nords take bad news better than anyone. But still, delivering a broken shield to a weeping spouse is no walk in the pines.
Does the scroll you found mention anything about a mysterious ally of theirs?
Not that I can tell. Whoever this person is, they covered their tracks well enough. I'll say this. Anyone who can wrangle a coven of witches into doing their bidding is a serious threat. The Ice Reach coven bowed to no one. Until now.
Do you have any theories on what this rival was supposed to accomplish?
More than a simple storm, that much is certain. They were building to something. I bet my axe on it. Hopefully the mages back in Windhelm can decipher this scroll and get a better idea of just what they were planning.
How do you think King Jarl will react to all this?
He's a bard, a temperamental one. I wager he'll yank at his beard and grumble and recite a poem in the Sword Thane's honor. But for all his theatrics, he's a practical man. He'll have me and a dozen other housecarls turning stones before long.
Turning stones and looking for what?
More witches, and the shadowy ally. If they really want to claim Skyrim for themselves, they couldn't have chosen a better time. The kingdom is sundered in two. The Skull King's busy with the war in Cyrodiil. We're vulnerable, plain and simple.
Goodbye, Lewis. Till we meet again. There we go, guys. That was the quest for Ice Reach. It's always a favourite of mine, like I said in the beginning of the video. But as always, if you did enjoy the video, give it a thumbs up, I really do appreciate it. And if you're new around here and like to see more videos like this, and I've got plenty more planned, then click the subscribe button. If you do have any dungeons you want me to do that I haven't done already, drop them down in the comments and that'll be my next video. But as always, take care now, I'll see you in the next one.